Morning, guys. So it's 40 degrees and over 90% humidity. We were down to 40% humidity yesterday. Now we're wet again. Icky weather. All right, so I was going to answer a question that I got from somebody. Show my Bondo Hog. You got a lot of good comments on your video about Bondo Hogs. It's a tool that, unless you do a lot of mud work, you probably don't need, or won't use a lot, I should say. I use mine a lot because there's so many people that don't want to replace panels anymore, and I find myself doing more and more Bondo work. I don't have an 8-inch DA, I just have regular DAs, and a Bondo Hog seems to be completely different, other than the fact that it oscillates or has a orbital motion, which I'll try to show you. Let me get an air hose here and get into some light somewhere. So this is mine. This particular one, I know a lot of you guys don't believe stuff when I tell you, but here's the model number. I don't know if you could research it that way. It's Mako Tools, model number 17777. It's got a lot of sevens in it, Tommy. You like that? I know that. Anywho, I got this back when the Mako guy was the only guy that would give me credit on the tool truck, and it's one of my first tools I bought when I became a body man, or thought I was a body man, and I'm gonna go in circles now. This thing's got to be 25 years old, so there's a little bit to say about quality. I think I paid like $250 for this at the time, just because the popular one back then was a snap-on one. Makes a real nice one. I don't know who makes it for snap-on, but snap-on's got a nice one. National Detroit always makes a fine tool, So let me put you on the stand so I can have my hands there. Like I was saying, the National Detroit's a nice one. I've personally got friends that use the snap-on one and really love it, praise it. I haven't been on a snap-on truck in a while, so I don't know if it's the same or what the deal is with that anymore, so I can't really recommend a brand per se. Let me get an air hose. Now I know on page 12 of the auto body flyer that I sent you, there's an Astro Bondo Hog for 125 or 130 bucks, and Astro's at the bottom of the tool quality, but you can get parts for it, and it'll have a short warranty, and their quality is a little better than some of the absolutely no-name brands. I really don't know who made this. I would probably say Ingersoll Ram. I'm not sure. Now, this is a worn out tool. My trigger quit working on this years ago. And I'll show you something here. We'll show you how old this is, because there's not much made in Japan anymore. It's China, but this was made in Japan. So, even though this is on a tool truck, it was a... Anyway, this thing, you just have to turn the dial on now, and it's one of those tools where you don't want to work the trigger anyway, so. You can see the oscillating motion, and when you turn this up, it won't stop. My air compressor is not turned on right now, but can you see the motion in which it turns? It's gear driven, and I believe it's on a sunshell type gear, you know, a planetary gear. But you can hear the gears in there. And now I'll tell you another thing that I'm guilty of, and I saw a comment on your channel, and probably a good practice to get into, but when you paint for a living, especially when you're on commission at a nice shop, the last thing you do if you're a painter is oil your tools. I've never put oil in any of my air tools. So that being said, every once in a while I'll throw some oil in them when they stop working, and the reason is because fish eyes. You know, you're sanding on the car, especially with Bondo. You can get that oil residue coming out of the exhaust, and it gets into the mud, and it's a mess, and you can have fish eyes issues. I know guys that oil their tools all the time though, and you know, I'm sure they would last much longer. I've gotten really good service out of that right there. I use it quite a bit. Really, you know, you're not going to finish anything with that. You know, that's to knock it down and get the basic shape, and then you go to a block or, you know, whatever you prefer to make your panel straight with. But that definitely saves a lot of time as far as roughing in the panel, and you know, because of the way it oscillates, you don't get a real deep scratch. You can put 80 grit on that and strip a hood with it, and yeah, so do a little bit of work in here. Got this painted, so get some carpet thrown down in here. Maybe get the motor put in this today, I don't know. I got these rockers fitting a little better. Show you the driver's side over there, and got to trim those dog legs and bring the body up a little more, and then I have to porta power this one over, but getting there. Do a little wipe on top of those welds there, get that knocked down, get that primed, and I'll show you guys how to make some spot welds with a cigarette butt and some wet primer, so it looks like plug welds, you know, little rent-a-car trick I learned. Got the bottom there extended down. Got to put my patch panel in and fold this seam over. I welded up a few holes. Got this door on over here. So got both my doors on. Both my doors fit really nice. This door fits super nice. This post over here was a little more rough. You know, it's not going to be quite as sweet as the driver's side, but it'll be acceptable, I hope. And so it's definitely not a DA. Definitely doesn't have any resemblance to a DA. Very heavy, gear driven, and again, this is a Matco, and I want to say that Florida Pneumatic used to make their stuff, which I believe is Astro Tools now. And there's one in the Auto Body Times, an Astro for 120 something, I believe. You could probably find it cheaper somewhere else, I'm sure. But that's the deal with that one. I've never personally used an Astro or don't know the setup, but most Bondo Hogs are all gear driven, just for the fact that that's how they muscle their way through the Bondo. The one that you have, they used to call that the Hutchins Eliminator, I thought, and not a Bondo Hog, but I could be mistaken. And the Eliminator, I know a lot of guys just use that for stripping the checked out panels. When we used to do strippers, that was a real popular tool. So let me go upload this short video for you. Hopefully that answered some questions. If you look through that Auto Body Times though, there is a National Detroit in there, and there's also the Astro. The Astro is a lower quality tool, of course, but oh, excuse me, they do have replacement parts available for them, and they can be serviced, and most all auto body suppliers sell them now. So it's the one of the leaders in the aftermarket tool companies. These work pretty good. You know, you can go see Jimmy Johnson over at Lowe's for 49 bucks and get you a set of these, and no complaints there. Those worked real well. And these flanging tools, they're in that catalog also. So this is I think a CIA or something. It's an aftermarket brand, but it's punched many holes, and don't use the flanger much. Not a flanger, usually butt weld, but I bought it for the hole punch, which works very well. So when you're doing plug welds and what have you. All right, let me get out of this cold weather. I gotta go get the girls up for school, and hopefully that answered a few questions for you on the Bondo Hog. And it works great if you're doing big panels, but again, you know, it's one of those tools that you're not going to be using every day if you buy it. You know, it's one of those tools you make a pretty big investment. It sits in your box most of the time. So I do strip panels in mine, and do big large Bondo repairs with it. So those are the areas I like to use it in, and it works good for me, and it's super fast, so that's always good. So all right, guys, we'll let you go. I'm gonna shut this off.